Hey, Mark. I hope you're having a good morning over there in Mother Russia. Um, I want to do a quick voiceover here for your squat. I made a couple of comments above about fixing things more related to your setup, being that your toes look like they're just pointed out a little too far. So bring them in a few degrees. That way we can keep a more neutral alignment of your toes and knee. And the other thing was just your eye gaze. You kind of shifted around too much during the set. Not even so much while you're squatting, but more in between reps. And it just kind of wastes some time and it kind of throws your balance off a little bit too. So those things are really related to the setup. But this voiceover, I mainly want to talk about the squat itself and some mechanical issues that I think we could work on ironing out. So the big issue as your set goes on is you really start letting your hips slide back rather than driving your hips up. So it's kind of an error. It's an error in hip drive, and it's kind of a common incorrect way people think of hip drive a lot. Or more a common thing that people refer to making this mistake as is the good morning squat. I don't like to use that term a whole lot because I think rarely the squat turns into a good morning. But your squat actually does look a little bit like a good morning towards the end, so I think it is probably applicable here. So let's watch you do this set. Make sure the volume's down. So you start off actually with pretty good hip drive. You're maintaining your back angle pretty well out of the hole. And as the set goes on is when you start sliding your hips back more. So we can already see it here. So the correct hip drive pretty much maintains the back angle out of the bottom for the majority of the drive up. So that's correct hip drive. What you're doing is rather than driving your hips up, straight up, you are sliding your hips backwards out of the hole. And this is a problem because it really doesn't contribute a whole lot to the upward movement of the bar, and it just puts you in a less mechanically efficient position to push on the bar from. It kind of puts you in a more compromised position that under a heavy weight, you're just going to bail. You're going to end up bailing the weight forward over your head because you're not in a very good position to push on it from. So note your back angle here. This is about the correct back angle for your bottom position. And then watch as you drive up out of the hole. So see how your hips went backwards and your back angle flattened out even more? This is what I'm talking about when I'm saying your hips are sliding back or you're doing a good morning squat. So this one's even more so. Notice now how your back angle is basically, it's parallel to the floor. So we went from this back angle here to your hips slide way the hell back. And notice, like I said, the bar barely even moved up when you did that. So this is your hips kind of sliding back, not doing the work that they're supposed to. And then they end up really having to do more work anyways because you have to open up this really severe back angle here all of a sudden at the top. So you basically had to literally good morning the weight up there, which is a lot harder than a correct squat. So the thing I want you to think about initially to fix this is I want you to think about driving your hips or driving your ass straight up out of the hole rather than backwards out of the hole. So focus on driving hips straight up. And that is about what you do on the first rep there. Just be conscious of it so that you can avoid doing it as you get fatigued later in the sets. So think about that while you're squatting tomorrow. If you have any other questions, let me know and I'll be happy to answer them. All right, have a good day, Mark.